why do people hate me so much and why are people so negative?
Angel Reese has actually paying the cost from attaching her brand to Caitlin Clark's brand.
One day people will say like, I want to be like Angel Reese, or Angel Reese really inspired me or touched me.
She's being destroyed, but comparing herself and attaching herself to Caitlin Clark.
And when you do stuff like that and you're drawing attention to yourself because of that, that can be problematic for you, especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things.
Her biggest problem is the Caitlin Clark comparison.
The drama is real, and Angel Reese is at the center of it. Once celebrated as a rising star, Reese is now facing massive backlash for her explosive comments about Caitlin Clark and her fans.
Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is.
Her words are sparking outrage, exposing hypocrisy, and leaving everyone questioning her motives. Meanwhile, Clark, the true queen of the court, continues to dominate with hard work, grace, and a laser focus on the game.
I'll take that of being able to be the person that gets the hate, but I know that at the end of the day, I'm growing women's basketball and helping women's basketball. Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
We don't get to say, well, Joe Rogan is #1 and we are important too, because that's not how podcasts and competition works. You know who tells you you're good? The flipping market tells you're good.
So why is Angel Reese being called out? Why are her attempts to tear down Caitlin Clark backfiring so badly? Stick around as we uncover the truth behind the controversy and why Clark's legacy is unstoppable.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
Angel Reese's recent interview sparked heated discussions when she claimed that Caitlin Clark's fans aren't her problem. She insisted that the rivalry between her and Clark is overhyped by the media and that she holds no ill will toward Clark or her supporters. On the surface, this might seem like a mature stance, but it directly contradicts her own words from a previous podcast. In that podcast, Reese accused Clark's fans of crossing the line, even alleging that some had shared inappropriate, fabricated videos of her.
I don't think it's just her fans. I think it's fans in general. I mean, it's just basketball. I promise you, it's just basketball. I don't have any hard feelings towards her. She doesn't have any hard feelings towards me, but yeah, it gets crazy sometimes.
She was seen during various interviews and what have you, talking about threats, talking about insults, crying about how people were coming at her with such venom. She brought up all of these things, which means she was aware of it.
After the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like I guess people thought that was like because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked. Her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans, very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it. Her fan base has gone.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
This glaring contradiction exposes a troubling inconsistency in Reese's narrative. On one hand, she wants to downplay the rivalry and appear unbothered by Clark's fans. On the other, she paints them as villains responsible for personal attacks against her. The question is, which version of Angel Reese should we believe? Such flip-flopping not only damages her credibility, but also makes it clear that she's struggling to control the narrative surrounding her.
This is a girl that came in and garnered more attention than others in the game. That's what happened. It's that simple.
When she went on her podcast, in her first episode in her podcast, like the title, I don't know if she changed it at this point because Caitlin Clark was also like in the thumbnail of her video.
Furthermore, Reese often claims she embraces being the bad guy in women's basketball, proudly taking on a role that generates buzz and attention for the sport. Yet in the same breath, she complains about the negative treatment she receives from fans and critics. If she's genuinely committed to this villain role, why is she so quick to complain when the backlash comes her way? It seems Reese wants the benefits of controversy without the consequences, a stance that doesn't sit well with fans or critics alike.
One of the more interesting aspects of this fanhood is that some of the biggest supporters of Caitlin Clark are not whites. They're actually black males.
Adding fuel to the fire, Reese has frequently criticized the WNBA for not paying its players enough, even claiming that her WNBA salary wouldn't cover her rent. However, her lack of commitment to the game speaks volumes. Instead of putting in the hard work to improve her skills, Reese has been more focused on social media stunts, deleting and reinstating her Instagram, posting provocative content, and chasing clout.
You can make more money overseas than you can make here in the WNBA. Being able to make deals, being able to create a brand outside of basketball, and we've made millions of dollars.
Google search says that your net worth is $2 million.
It's not right.
Is it inaccurate?
Yeah.
Is it way off? Is it close?
Way off.
It's clear that her headlines are driven more by controversy than by her performance on the court. In stark contrast, Caitlin Clark lets her game do the talking. She spends her time practicing, connecting with her fans, and maintaining a positive image that inspires young athletes. Clark is known for her modesty, professionalism, and work ethic, qualities that stand in direct opposition to Reese's attention-seeking antics. This stark difference only widens the gap between the two players, solidifying Clark's reputation as a true role model in women's basketball.
And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a Rookie of the Year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. Her brand building has been incredibly impressive.
Angel Reese has made headlines, but not for reasons that elevate women's basketball or showcase her talents. Her controversial behavior and attention-seeking stunts have become a recurring theme, overshadowing her on-court performance. Instead of focusing on improving her game, Reese often courts drama, whether by sharing provocative posts, engaging in unnecessary social media battles, or deleting and reinstating her Instagram account for attention.
And you certainly have the right to dress how you want and to do what you want and to live your life. But people have a right to have their opinions about what you put on display.
One of the most talked about instances was Reese's decision to delete her Instagram following backlash over her content. While public figures face criticism, Reese's approach to handling it only adds fuel to the fire. Her choice to constantly seek validation through provocative posts and public displays contradicts her claims of being comfortable in the spotlight. This pattern of behavior suggests that Reese thrives on the attention, regardless of whether it's positive or negative.
But I also want to encourage her to bring her Instagram platform back because that is her brand and she built that for the last X number of years and now she can use it as a platform to market herself. But you have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. If you're not ready for the heat, then you just got to be mindful that what comes with it.
What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it.
Even more telling is her tendency to play the victim when backlash arises. Reese complains about being misunderstood or unfairly criticized, yet her actions often invite the very scrutiny she resents. She's quick to point fingers at others, be it fans, critics, or even her league, but rarely takes responsibility for how her actions contribute to the controversies. Her public persona appears built on drama rather than the discipline and focus that define true sportsmanship. This attention-seeking extends beyond social media. Reese's branding choices often seem more about grabbing headlines than representing herself as a serious athlete.
That idiot Angel Reese is trying so hard to latch on to Caitlin Clark by being the heel and then crying about it. You all did this. You all called her a white bitch constantly. You all did this.
While there's nothing wrong with building a brand, Reese's approach often strays into territory that detracts from her credibility. Her public image is further complicated by her inconsistent statements about her role in women's basketball. She claims to be growing the sport by embracing the bad guy persona, yet her antics often create distractions rather than inspire progress.
Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work.
In stark contrast, Caitlin Clark's approach to her career couldn't be more different. Clark is laser-focused on her craft, dedicating her time to practicing, connecting with fans, and maintaining a professional image. She has earned her fame through hard work and dedication, not through controversy or drama. Clark's humility and commitment to the game make her a shining example of what it means to be a role model in sports.
Listen, if people want to portray and paint the narrative that there are racial tensions in the WNBA as a result of Caitlin Clark, I would say that's their own problem.
Angel Reese's actions raise an important question. Is she truly committed to growing women's basketball, or is she more concerned with keeping herself in the spotlight? Her pattern of seeking attention and creating drama suggests the latter, and it's a stark contrast to Caitlin Clark's unwavering dedication to the game.
I'm not even talking about the outfit. I'm talking about overall pressure of having to be compared as a brand to somebody who's conducting their branding with near perfection.
I don't want Nike turning her down because they don't see her as someone that's marketable, because
neither do I.
You know, and that's
neither do I.
the
Whether directly or indirectly, there's always eyes on you. What they're paying attention to, because they're trying to measure what your intentions are based off of what they see.
The way that she dresses invites unwanted sexual attention.
The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has inadvertently placed a magnifying glass on the stark differences between the two athletes. Not just in their playing styles, but in how they handle fame, professionalism, and their impact on women's basketball. While both are undeniably talented, the way they've navigated the spotlight reveals a tale of two very different approaches to success.
She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She is in this age where she does know social media exists, and she has exploited it to her advantage. That means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
Reese's public image seems to rest heavily on controversy and spectacle. Her actions during the national championship game, where she taunted Caitlin Clark with the "you can't see me" gesture, thrust her into the limelight. While some praised her for her competitive spirit, others criticized her behavior as unsportsmanlike. The incident highlighted Reese's willingness to embrace a brash, villainous persona, but only when it suits her.
Caitlin Clark, at 22 years old, coming into a league, has to be Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Ronald Reagan.
She claims to play the bad guy to grow the sport, yet complains about the negativity that comes with it. This inconsistency only weakens her credibility and leaves fans questioning her motives. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence has been marked by grace and professionalism.
Angry that a white girl has come in and dominated what could not be even approached.
Despite being targeted with taunts and criticisms, Clark rarely engages in drama. Instead, she focuses on her performance, letting her talent speak for itself. In her rookie WNBA season, Clark has shattered records, captivated fans, and elevated the league's visibility. Her modest demeanor and genuine connection with supporters have made her a beacon of positivity in women's sports.
It's not all about sharing everything. It's about actually keeping a lot of this stuff intimate and private. Personally, I wouldn't wear that because that's not the way I want to be represented.
She's literally held up an outline after getting waxed. Oh yes, please tell me how sexualized you are.
One of the most significant contrasts lies in how each player has approached opportunities outside the WNBA. Reese has been vocal about her frustrations with the league's pay structure, often pointing out that her WNBA salary doesn't cover her lifestyle. Yet, rather than focusing on improving her game to attract higher endorsements or opportunities, Reese has leaned heavily into social media antics and off-court distractions.
This is the stupidest thing I have seen. She wants Caitlin Clark, this woman who nobody knows, nobody outside of family gives a rat's ass about. She wants Caitlin Clark to be more vocal about racism permeating through the WNBA.
Clark, meanwhile, has taken a different path. Despite being courted by high-profile ventures like the Unrivaled League, she turned down a lucrative $1 million offer, prioritizing her current commitments and long-term goals over quick financial gains.
And I think that's the dope thing about Caitlin, too, because regardless of the scrutiny they put on her name, every time she's came out and spoken publicly, she said, hey, I'm good, but we need to push the league. And like you said, she did a lot of vocal stuff that helped a lot of black women in the process, man.
Angel Reese cares more about influencing than she does about basketball. Now, you can't necessarily say the same about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark understands that people are tuning into her, how she's going to transform what is happening in the WNBA, and the WNBA needs to embrace her more because she's going to get them women paid.
This decision reflects Clark's maturity and understanding of the bigger picture, something Reese has yet to demonstrate. While Reese's antics may generate short-term attention, Clark's focus on her craft and reputation is building a legacy that will last far beyond her playing career.
My advice to Caitlin, kind of keep your mouth shut because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing.
Moreover, the impact of their respective approaches is evident in their influence on the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's entry into the league coincided with a massive increase in viewership, attendance, and fan engagement. Her jersey became the bestseller of the season, and her games drew record-breaking audiences. These achievements underscore her ability to inspire and attract fans through her talent and professionalism.
Women should just shut up and dribble in the WNBA. The more they talk, the dumber they are. We get dumber when they speak. We get dumber when their media speak.
Meanwhile, Reese's headlines often center on controversies or personal grievances, overshadowing any meaningful contribution she could make to the sport. In the end, the rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has become more than just a basketball story. It's a reflection of two vastly different paths to fame. While Reese continues to rely on controversy to stay relevant, Clark's unwavering dedication and humility have solidified her as a role model and a true ambassador for the game.
All the African-American lesbians that have been so racist to Caitlin Clark. What if Caitlin Clark just wanted to play? What if at 22 years old trying to make her way into basketball, but that ain't good enough for Roz Gold Owande because she's an idiot?
The choice between the two couldn't be clearer. One represents distraction, the other inspiration. And there you have it, the truth behind the controversy that's been rocking women's basketball. Angel Reese's attention-seeking antics and inconsistent statements may have gained her some headlines, but they've also exposed a pattern of hypocrisy and distraction. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to rise above it all, letting her performance, professionalism, and humility speak louder than words.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
At the end of the day, actions will always carry more weight than words. While Reese struggles to balance fame and focus, Clark is setting the standard for what it means to be a true athlete and role model. The fans see it, the numbers prove it, and the future of women's basketball is brighter because of it. As this rivalry unfolds, one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark is building a legacy that's untouchable, while Reese risks losing the respect that truly matters.
Problem is you have all of these players, Angel Reese, for example. You have Alyssa Thomas fueling the ideas of racial abuse by fans, but there's no real evidence of it. Brittany Griner speaking out against it. It's, the fans are calling us this, they're shouting these things. Did anybody hear any of these racial slurs happening or these racist actions by fans? The evidence wasn't there, so how are you going to talk about it if there's no evidence, right?
There is no race. And guess what? Those aren't fans. The people that are doing that, if they're doing that, they're just idiots. And if you're going to be popular, if you're going to be in the public eye, you're going to have a lot of idiots.
Let's celebrate the players who elevate the game, not through drama, but through dedication and excellence. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more takes on the stories shaping the sports world. Until next time.
Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think, is what's been such a shock for all of us, that other people are surprised by this. We've been trying to tell you. And once again, for so long, as a player, I would almost joke. I'd be like, I would have loved to have shut up and dribble. In so many ways, I would have loved to have been valued as a basketball player. I would have been loved to have been spoken about just for my play. I think everybody in the league can say that. But nobody ever let us do that.